All right, so let's jump right into this deep dive.
Yeah.
You all wanted to hear more about what OpenAI's been up to?
Right.
So looks like you sent in a bunch of their news updates straight from the source.
Yeah, their website.
Straight from their website, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just see what we can figure out here.
Yeah, it looks like there's a lot going on.
It does,
Like,
right?
not just like one big thing. There's
Yeah.
a ton of different models they've been putting out.
Yeah, just looking over the list here, it's
Yeah,
kind of overwhelming.
it is.
We got O3 Mini, O1, O1 Mini.
Oh, yeah.
Then there's GPT-4o and GPT-4o Mini.
Right.
What is the deal with all these different models?
Well, it seems like they're going for a strategy of having these specialized models
Oh, okay.
for specific tasks or resource needs,
Mm-hmm.
which is really interesting.
Yeah.
Because it seems like they're not just aiming for one ultimate AI. It's more like
Right.
they're creating this whole ecosystem.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that could make AI more accessible to way more people.
Yeah, okay.
And for way more purposes.
So that makes sense then that even the mini versions are still like crazy powerful.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like how a pocket knife can still be really useful.
Right.
Even though it's not some huge machete.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And speaking of powerful, we can't forget about Sora.
Oh, right.
That's their text-to-video model.
Yeah,
And that's really been getting a lot of attention.
it has.
The fact that you can type in like a description
Oh, wow.
and Sora can make a video from that.
Yeah,
That's like
that's wild.
pretty mind-blowing.
It's straight out of science fiction.
It is.
I mean, you could just see your thoughts like come to life on the screen.
Yeah,
What
exactly.
kind of impact do you think that have?
It's hard to even say. I mean,
Yeah.
think about how it could be used
Yeah.
for making movies
Well, yeah.
or advertising,
Right.
even education, anything
Yeah.
really, even just for your own creative stuff.
Oh, wow.
OpenAI actually has like a big blog post on their site
Oh, really?
about Sora, and it's like an 8-minute read.
8 minutes.
Yeah,
That's a lot for a blog post.
it is, which tells you how much they're putting into this.
Yeah, that's true for sure.
But
Yeah.
Sora's not the only thing that's been making headlines.
Right.
It looks like ChatGPT's been keeping busy too.
Yeah, what's
Let's see.
going on over there?
There's an article here called Catching Halibut with ChatGPT.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Someone used ChatGPT to catch fish?
Apparently, yeah.
Wow.
It sounds like they were having trouble figuring out how to catch halibut,
Oh, okay.
and they asked ChatGPT for some tips.
That's amazing.
I know, right?
Like, who would have thought that an AI could be used for something like that?
Yeah, it really shows you how versatile these tools can be.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And,
It's not just some
Yeah.
theoretical thing,
exactly.
It's out in the real world,
Right.
solving real problems.
Yeah, totally.
And speaking of real world stuff,
Oh, yeah.
we got to talk about OpenAI's partnership with the California State University system.
Yeah, 500,000 students and faculty?
Yeah.
That's huge.
What do you think about that?
I mean, that's a bold move.
Yeah.
And it makes you wonder, what's the future education going to look like?
Okay.
Imagine having personalized learning
Yeah.
and AI tutors available all the time.
Oh, yeah.
It could totally change how we learn.
Yeah, like having a personalized AI tutor available 24/7.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
And actually, there's another story here about building custom math tutors with ChatGPT.
Oh, wow. I would have loved that back in school.
Yeah, I know.
Math was not my strong suit.
Imagine a tutor that can adapt to how you learn
Yeah.
and explain things in a way that makes sense to you.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's incredible how AI could make learning easier and more fun for everyone.
For sure. Yeah. But we've only just scratched the surface here.
Yeah, there's so much more to unpack.
Okay, so where do we even go from here?
Let's dive into some of those headlines you marked. Introducing the intelligence age.
Yeah.
That one really stood out to me.
Yeah, introducing the intelligence age.
Yeah,
That sounds both exciting and a little scary.
it does.
Makes you wonder where this is all going, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah.
Like we could be on the edge of a whole new era
Oh, wow.
where AI shapes everything.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild to think about.
But what does that actually mean for us?
Right.
What would life in an intelligence age even look like?
That is the million-dollar question.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't think anyone really knows yet.
Right.
But I think it's safe to say that AI is going to be everywhere.
Yeah.
In how we work, how
Yeah.
we learn, and even how we talk to each other.
It's both exciting and a little scary to think about.
Definitely.
But before we get too far down that rabbit hole,
Okay.
there's another headline that I got to ask about.
Yeah.
Announcing the Stargate project.
Oh, yeah, Stargate.
What is that all about?
It's a bit of a mystery.
Is.
OpenAI hasn't said much about it,
Oh, really?
which makes it even more interesting.
Yeah, it's like they're teasing us,
Yeah.
giving us just enough to make us curious,
Exactly.
but not the whole picture.
I mean, they're definitely creating some buzz.
Yeah, they are.
even without knowing what it is.
Yeah,
Just the name Stargate
yeah.
makes you think of all kinds of possibilities.
It sounds very sci-fi,
It does.
like a portal to a new dimension
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
technology.
Right.
But, okay, so aside from those mysterious projects,
Yeah.
OpenAI has also been working with more, like, traditional industries.
Oh, right. Like their partnership with Axios?
Yeah, that one.
That's a big one.
It is.
It shows you how much influence they're gaining in media.
Yeah.
And it raises some interesting questions about
Oh, yeah.
personalized news.
Personalized news, what does that even mean?
Like, imagine getting news feeds
Okay.
that are tailored to your interests.
Yeah.
Algorithms could filter everything based on what you like to read, what you do on social media, even where you live.
That's kind of creepy.
Yeah, it could be.
But also kind of convenient, maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a double-edged sword.
But wouldn't that lead to people living in echo chambers?
Yeah, that's definitely a risk, like only seeing news that confirms what they already believe.
Exactly. So how AI is used in media
Yeah.
has huge implications for, like, how we see the world.
It really does. We have to be careful about bias
Yeah.
and manipulation, you know? We need ethical guidelines for this stuff.
Absolutely. We can't just let AI be used for propaganda
Right.
or just to make money, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
But let's change gears a bit
Okay.
and talk more about education. We already mentioned the CSU partnership.
Right.
But there's also that story about using ChatGPT to build those custom math tutors.
Oh, yeah, that was fascinating.
I know.
Imagine if everyone had a tutor
Yeah.
who could help them one-on-one
Right.
and explain things in a way they understand.
That would be a game changer.
It really would.
Especially for students who struggle with, like, traditional classrooms.
Yeah, exactly.
Or who don't have access to good tutoring.
It would be like having a personal AI assistant
Yeah.
dedicated to helping you learn.
And it's not just about making learning easier, right?
No, definitely not.
It's about exploring complex stuff in new ways.
Right, like there's a story here
Yeah.
about how researchers are using OpenAI's models
Yeah.
to analyze economic data,
Right.
come up with new insights,
So AI can help us understand
Yeah.
everything better.
potentially.
From the economy to the ocean.
Right.
Like that halibut story we talked about earlier.
Exactly.
It seems like there's no limit to what these tools can do.
It's an incredibly exciting time to be following AI.
It is.
We're seeing the birth of a whole new era.
Yeah, it's like we're exploring this huge unknown territory. And every discovery is like a step further into the
It's
darkness.
thrilling.
But with all this talk about the future
Yeah.
and groundbreaking stuff,
Right.
it's easy to forget about the bigger picture.
Oh, you mean?
What about the X of all this?
Ah, yes, that's a crucial point.
It is.
And it's something OpenAI seems to be taking seriously.
They do. They do.
Oh, they have a whole section on their website
Oh, wow.
about their safety approach,
Okay.
where they talk about making sure AI is aligned with human values.
Interesting.
Like, they're committed to testing their models thoroughly
Okay.
before they release them to the public.
That's good to hear.
It is.
But how do you even define human values in a way that a computer can understand?
That's the big challenge, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's no easy answer.
Right.
It's going to take a lot of discussion and collaboration between researchers, policymakers, and regular people to make sure AI is used for good.
Yeah, like we're all navigating this complicated maze together.
Exactly.
And every step forward brings new problems and dilemmas.
It does.
But it's a journey we have to take.
Right.
Carefully and responsibly.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah, it is a lot to think about.
It is.
On the one hand, we've got all these amazing advancements, right, that could like totally revolutionize things, healthcare, education, you name it.
Totally.
But then on the other hand,
Yeah.
we got to be careful about the risks, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And make sure AI is used ethically.
Yeah, it's a tough balance. We got to be careful.
We do.
But I think it's important to remember that AI is ultimately just a tool.
Okay.
Like any tool, it
Right.
can be used for good or bad.
Right.
It all depends on the people using it.
Yeah, that's true.
Their intentions, their actions.
So it's not about being afraid of the technology itself,
Right.
but more about being like smart about it
Exactly.
and shaping how it's developed and used.
And one way we can do that
Yeah.
is by staying informed and talking about it openly, you know?
Yeah.
The good and the bad, OpenAI seems to be encouraging that,
Oh, that's good.
which is great. They even have this initiative
Oh, really?
called Introducing ChatGPT Gov,
Interesting.
where they're working with governments
Okay.
to make sure AI is developed responsibly.
So they're not just building stuff,
No.
they're thinking about the big picture
Exactly.
and how it affects society.
And working with policymakers to figure it all out.
It sounds like they're taking a really well-rounded approach,
I think so.
like combining the tech stuff with the ethical stuff.
Yeah, and public engagement.
And that's something that makes them different, right,
I think so.
from other AI companies.
They're not just chasing profits.
Yeah.
It seems like they really want AI to benefit everyone.
Well, I think we've covered a ton of ground today.
We have.
From all the different models they're making
Right.
to
This is a
Sora,
big one.
text to video,
Wild stuff.
and then the intelligence age,
Yeah,
really makes you think.
it does. It does. And we've barely scratched the surface.
I know, right?
Their news section is packed with info.
It is.
They're doing some really incredible things.
Yeah, it's an exciting time to be following all this.
It really is.
Can't wait to see what they do next.
Me neither.
So I guess the big takeaway for everyone listening is
Yeah.
keep an eye on OpenAI.
They're definitely leading the way
They are.
in AI innovation.
Yeah, and their work is going to affect all of us.
For sure.
So stay curious
Stay informed.
and keep exploring the world of AI.
It's a wild ride.
It is a wild ride.
That's for sure. 17,000 years.